Corinne's creature story. As Molly's sickly colored green fingers touched her purple and black dress, when she looked through her closet, Molly practiced her scream, nearly making the full-size mirror in her closet shatter. As days flew by, everyone in Spooksville got ready for Halloween. The sun would rise and Molly's soul would fill up with joy, knowing that Halloween was closer each day. When Molly was a little girl, all the kids in her neighborhood would call her names about how she looked because she was a monster and she was the only monster family in town. The laughter at kids disgusted Molly, and she loved to show them her ugly zombie face and watch the kids scream in horror. Halloween was the only day she could scare kids because she was afraid that the kids would tell her parents and she would get captured because she was a monster. As it reached noon, Molly called her friends. "Hello," Dracula answered. "Hi, could you come over and help me come up with an idea on how to scare the children this year?" asked Molly. "Sure, I would be delighted to. I will tell Frankenstein and Medusa too," replied Dracula with his deep Transylvania accent. "Thanks," Molly cried as she hung up the phone on the wall, thinking of all the great ideas Dracula would come up with. As the clock struck 1, Molly's friends climbed the staircase, and that was as tall as a mountain. As they reached the top of the stairs, they could see Molly's skyscraper hair in her bedroom. "Welcome, welcome," Molly said with a joyful attitude. "Hi, I am so excited for Halloween," screamed Medusa. "Me too. We not too scary for children," commented Frankenstein. "Ha, ha, 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 you are hilarious," they said with smiling faces. This made Frankenstein upset because he was serious. He never liked to be scary, but everyone thought he did because of his green body and his zombie-like walk. But deep inside, he was very nice and loved to make people laugh. As they took a seat in Molly's cushioned chair in her dining room, they were brainwashed with ideas and couldn't think of any. Then a light bulb went off in Molly's head. She thought they could do a haunted house, and everyone thought it was great. As they jotted down their ideas, Molly could picture all the little children's nervous faces. The sun was setting, the temperature was dropping, the monsters were coming out, and the trick-or-treating had begun. One by one, Molly's friends showed up at her old Victorian house. As Molly's street filled with kids behind masks and their bags with just a handful of candy, they hung up their creepy, bone-chilling decorations. As the grandfather clock rang, they rushed to their places. Dracula in the library, Molly in the kitchen, Medusa in the hallway, and Frankenstein in the living room. They were thrilled with excitement, and the curtain was starting to rise. As they anxiously waited for their first victim, they soon realized after many hours nobody was coming. As fear became truth, they all disappointedly moped out of their spots. "What are you doing?" questioned Molly. "We give out candy," suggested Frankenstein. "Fine, but we don't have any candy. Where will we get some?" asked Medusa. "I have some chocolates. I will go get them," Dracula said with excitement. Flapping his wings as fast as he could, Dracula raced back to his cave and swooped up the candy. As the cold midnight air whipped his face, he could see all the little children in costumes heading toward Molly's face. Out of breath, he handed them the chocolates just in time before the first trick-or-treaters had showed up. With the wind howling, the sweet aroma of chocolate kissed the children's faces, and all the kids came running from all directions down Skeleton Lane to Molly's house. "Me love Halloween," Frankenstein said with his true heart. "Me too," the rest of them said with pleasure. Since then, Molly and her friends always give out candy on Halloween. When the children reach for the candy, Molly knows they like her from their lit-up faces. Molly knows that she was being foolish, and she thinks kids are wonderful and decides to give them a second chance. The end.